Hello, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am back. It is Will from Exposing the IWC, and we're talking about Monday Night Raw, a jam-packed. I would call it a jam-packed Monday Night Raw. A lot of stuff happened. Got a title change. Can you hear the dogs barking in the crowd? Woof woof woof. Braun Breaker is champion once again. I'm happy about that. Okay, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm a Braun Breaker fan. I want him to hold that belt. I'm happy about it. And I think it makes sense because Jey Uso is transitioning to the Bloodline storyline. And for God forbid, I believe the Bloodline members do not need titles. Okay, Jey Uso should not be mixing it up with Jacob and Solo and the crew over there while having the IT title. Give that to someone else like Braun Breaker. And when it comes to the freaking Tonga and Tanga Loa, take the belts off of them. Okay, no tag team title for them. Give that to someone else. Motor City Machine Guns, all right? And let them be without titles, bloodline stuff, family stuff. Doesn't need titles, doesn't need any gold, okay? No gold for the bloodline storylines, all right? That's what I would do. And I think that's the direction they're going. So I'm happy about it. We're talking about the main event. We're talking about Rhea Ripley and her booking and why I believe as a Liv Morgan revenge tour storyline, I think it's shot. I've been holding off because I've been waiting for something to happen. That something happened and nothing has changed. So now I believe that storyline is shot. It is washed. But unfortunately, I do believe it's going all the way to Mania regardless. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the tag team matches that happened on that show. I believe Ray and Dragon Lee won. And I believe the New Day won. Still some drama between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. We'll talk about that. And overall women's division of Raw and everything else that happened. We're diving into it. Seth Rollins going crazy to start the show. It's all going to be fun. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, give your thoughts on what happened on Raw. We're going to dive into it here in a second. What's up, Pedro? What's up, David? How you doing? Aaron Cross has been doing a good job. Yes. Fine job. Not a great job. Not a good job. Fine job. I haven't hated him on TV. I don't hate him. Jacob Fatu for the US title. That's like down the line. That's past the Bloodline storyline, okay? Like I said, the Bloodline needs no titles. It should be a family feud, a family feud, a family issue with no belts involved. We're talking about that. All right. But do me a favor, like the video. Let's talk about Raw. Let's talk about Raw, women's division, all that stuff that comes with it. But before we talk about Raw, well, we're talking about Raw, yeah. Lillian Garcia. We'll talk about Lillian in a little bit before we dive into the main event. So Lillian has been retrieved by Triple H to take over from Samantha Irvin. In my opinion, the GOAT, the greatest announcer I've ever got to witness in professional wrestling. For me, she stepped away. She's going to pursue, we believe, her career in music. No more wrestling announcing for Samantha Irvin. She'll be missed. I think she's amazing. She's great. And we have Lillian Garcia back here. Lillian, okay, she was the voice of my wrestling childhood, okay? I don't hate Lillian Garcia, but I have to be honest. I believe Samantha Irvin is the GOAT. We lost the GOAT. She's gone. All right. So now I have to move on to Lillian Garcia. I would have preferred that they go the route of, well, they could have Lillian Garcia hold it down for now, but I think they should be searching for the next great voice, the next great person to take over the mantle of announcer. If you guys don't know, Samantha Irvin was not somebody they found or recruited, really. It was something, she was discovered by Mark Henry. Mark Henry reached out to her and said, hey, do you want to be a wrestler? She tried to be a wrestler. It didn't work out for her. Then she transitioned to announcer. They lucked out. They didn't scout her, okay? Properly scout her or properly discover her. Mark Henry happened to say, hey, I got this girl named Samantha Johnson, I believe her real name. Samantha, she's awesome. You got to try out. So they got Samantha Irvin by way of Mark Henry. So what they could do an actual real talent search or talent, like, competition. It doesn't have to be televised, but have real search for the next great voice and have like a countrywide competition, and they narrowed it down to like a few names, and they bring them in and try them out, and you pick the next big star, make a new star. Retreading and bringing back Lillian Garcia is fine for temporary, but if this is like the direction for the next 5 years, I think that's a mistake. Find a next voice, find a next special person to take over instead of like, going for the nostalgia act. All right. She'll be fine. Lillian Garcia can do her job, but she'll be fine. But I just thought that going that route was a mistake, unless it's just temporary. I think you need to find a new person, but whatever. Okay. I'm happy for Lillian Garcia. She's here. Let's hope she does well. Let's hope she refines the magic. I'm sure she'll be fine. She had a little bit of a freaking what do I want to call it? We'll call it a botch to open up the show, and it sucks because they had the camera in her face for the start of her announcing gig. So she had a little flub. That was funny. She said something about number one containers match. I thought it was funny. Number one containers, not contenders, but containers. She's rusty. She's fine. She'll get it together. But I thought it was funny. Okay, I'm not gonna apologize for laughing. I even had a tweet. Let me see. I said the number one where is it? I said the number one containers. Let me see if I can find that tweet. Let's see. Here it is. I got the number one containers right here. Here we go. Split screen. Here it is. Number one containers right here. It should be fine, okay, but it was hilarious. Not gonna lie. Not a proper competition, but like a search, an audition, okay, audition for the next great voice. That's what I would have done. They can still do that, by the way. They can still do it, but started off with the number one containers, but we'll see. I'm sure it should be fine. All right, I'm not gonna like roast Lillian Garcia for making a mistake. All right, it should be fine. But I just, it is what it is. I'll miss Samantha Irvin. I will say that. I'm not going to lie. I saw some people online saying, we got the GOAT back. So Samantha Irvin, you won't be missed. Goodbye. And like, no, let's not front. Let's not front because Samantha Irvin's leaving. Let's be honest. She was amazing. For me, at least, she's amazing. And she's gone. And she will be missed. She truly will be missed. Okay. She will be. But anyway. Enough of number one containers. What rating would you give Raw? I'll give Raw title change. Got a good opening segment. I'll wait till the end of the stream. I'll wait till the end of the stream. I'll give you my rating, but it'll be 7 or above. It wasn't a bad Raw. Samantha Irvin is on to do her singing stuff, her other interests. She's an artist, so have fun out there, Samantha. You'll be missed. All right, let's go back to the proper story here. So the main event. Told you guys what would happen. I told you. Jey Uso facing Braun Breaker. Jacob Fatu will come down there and screw him. Now, I didn't think all of them would be there. I didn't think Tangaloa and Solo. I thought it would just be Jacob, but they're all there. After when I'm watching the match, you know what's going to happen. I have a sense that, okay, at some point, they have a good match here, and then you'll have the interference. So we're kind of waiting for the interference, but the back and forth was always great. Braun Breaker is amazing. I'm a big fan of Braun Breaker. Awesome stuff in the ring. Get Jey Uso interacting with Tangaloa. You got Solo Sikoa coming out there to give him trouble. So he's like batting off all these different people coming in here, trying to interfere in the match, right? And then what I didn't see coming was the spear. Braun Breaker spear Solo Sikoa. Like, oh, okay, now they're cooking here. Crowd went crazy. The crowd was hyped for this damn main event. I did not see that spear coming. That was great. We'll talk about these face-off at the end of this segment. We'll talk about that face-off we got between two people that won't face each other anytime soon. But ultimately, Jey Uso was batting off these interferences, right? Get out of here, Tonga. Get out of here, Solo Sikoa, right? And then ultimately, when he tried to spear Braun Breaker, Jacob comes in to picture and screws him like we knew was going to happen because he talked crap to Jacob on SmackDown and said, hey, I'm going to knock your ass out. Look at me like this, right? Well, here you go. Jacob Fatu came on Raw and screwed him. Some folks are complaining about what happened here. I think this is the right approach. I think you need Jey Uso in the Bloodline storyline, and he doesn't need a belt. So because he doesn't need a belt, gotta drop it, okay? Triple H is a storytelling guy. He's a storytelling mofo, okay? He wants to go the storytelling route. He will sacrifice a title reign. He will sacrifice anything to tell the story he thinks is best, which is actually the right approach. I prefer Jey Uso losing the belt and having a washed, boring, bland title reign just because he wants to have a long reign. No, you want Jey Uso to beat the Bloodline. How do you do it? Okay, he wants to stay away from him. Makes sense. You screw him. You make Jacob Fatu come on Raw, screw Jey Uso, and now he has no choice but to get involved because he can't let that stand. So now we have Jey Uso primed and ready to go into the Bloodline storyline. You have Braun Breaker as champion. I'm not complaining. All right. Do I miss Raw being 3 hours? For the sake of the women, yes. I do believe Raw is better at 3 now. Crazy to say that these days, but I do believe it's better at 3 hours. But it is what it is. We'll have to wait till NXT. We'll have to wait till Netflix. We'll go back to more of a longer show. So don't worry, folks. Not that long. We're in October now anyway. So Netflix is January. Won't be that long. Sheamus will dethrone Braun because Sheamus needs to win that IC title. That's a route you could go. Sheamus could do it for sure. She could do it. So yeah, I'm not complaining about this. It makes sense. Now we have Jey Uso ready to go back to the Bloodline storyline. You gotta check out this. Now at one point, because in my mind, it was clear to me that Jey was gonna lose, right? But there was that point in the match where I almost got shook. I'm like, wow, they're gonna do it. Jey's gonna retain. What happened was during the end of the match, it's like 3 minutes left before the end of the show. Jey Uso hits a spear, goes to the top of the corner, top of ropes, and hits that Samoan splash. Oh snap! It's over. They're gonna give it to Jey. But I should have stuck to my guns because I was sure that Jey was gonna lose. That's what happened. But I was like, oh my god, they're gonna do it here. But he kicked out. That was a crazy, that was a near fall that I don't really fall for the near falls. That one got me. He hit the spear, splash, 1, 2. Oh my god, they're gonna do it. He kicked out. Oh, okay. I know it wasn't crazy, but that was close. I was like, okay, you had me there. You had me. I thought Jey was gonna lose. You got me there. But I was right, as usual. Jey Uso loses to Braun Breaker. Now, at the end of during the match, there was this face-off, okay? Got this face-off between two promising prospects, two promising superstars, and Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu. This is a testament of the star power of the two and the star-making ability of WWE. These two people were not on the roster, not on the main roster a year ago, and they faced off, and the crowd went crazy. Okay, they built up Jacob Fatu to somebody that fans want to see in the big spots. The fans believe he's a big time guy, a big time star, and they built up Braun Breaker to be a fan favorite with the dog barking and all that stuff. These are two folks who were not on the main roster a year ago, and now they face off, and the crowd goes crazy. That's star-making ability. That's creating stars. That's mission accomplished is what I'm getting at. They've done their job here, creative. Jacob is a big deal. Braun is a big deal. Folks want to see this match. Now, if you're crazy enough to think, oh, we're going to get this anytime soon, you're nuts. This is a random face-off that Triple H is talking about, okay? Triple H will book this match maybe 3 years from now, okay? Let's be clear. We're not getting this match anytime soon. Anytime soon, okay? Just to be clear. But it's a testament of the star-making ability of the WWE that the fans reacted the way they did. So yeah, this was a good segment. The crowd went crazy. Didn't see some things coming like that spear to Solo Sikoa by Braun Breaker. Fun match. Accomplished story they wanted accomplished. I don't have that much complaints. It is what it is. I do not think Jey Uso needed a long reign, so I'm not complaining about that. Well done, WWE, solid stuff. And complaining. Yeah, anytime soon. Yep. Not anytime soon. People asking why Roman and Jimmy wasn't there. Who cares? Like, why would Roman and why would they be there? Roman told Jimmy that he wants no part of Jey. No eats. That's what he said, right? Why did he have to be there? Jey gave him his answer in a way, right? Jey said, I ain't trying to hear you. Get out of my face on SmackDown. Why would they have to be there to watch Jey Uso's match? That's crazy. Like, the Bloodline are SmackDown superstars. They came to their show Solo said, I bought a ticket. Ha ha ha. He had 2 tickets. Him and Jacob got a ticket. So they bought tickets to go to the show in kayfabe because they're not supposed to be there. Neither is Solo and Jimmy. So why would Solo and Jimmy need to be there? They don't. That's a ridiculous complaint. Those people are not worth your time. What else we got? American Made would lose to MCMG and DIY on SmackDown. I believe MCMG, Motor City Machine Guns, are going to beat the Bloodline for the tag titles due to interference from Roman, Jimmy, Jey, etc. Again, no titles for the Bloodline. That is a proper way to go about it. I don't want to see no gold, family business, blood business, no titles. Right, exactly. WWE don't give no explanation. Don't give no explanation why Raw talent show up on. They came into they explained it. They bought a ticket. Solo and Jacob bought a ticket. They had it in their hands. We got tickets, so they don't need to explain it. They showed up. Now I do agree. Usually they don't. Like for example, when Liv and Raquel showed up on SmackDown, no explanation. I don't care. It's wrestling at this point. They showed up. They have connections because they're superstars. They have ways to get in. I'm not complaining about it. Honestly, don't cause trouble. The GM probably doesn't care either. Now, if they're disrupting the show, that's something that, hey, why y'all here? Why y'all disrupting the show? Then they can complain. By that, I mean, GM can complain, right? But I don't really care when people pop up here and there. It's all for our entertainment. As long as the segment is good, I ain't complaining. Just make the segment good. Does it lead to a match at Crown Jewel with the Bloodline? Does what lead? Does this, does Jey Uso, this stuff, the shenanigans with Jey Uso? Some people have said Solo against Roman. Could it be a 3-way? I think there's more that need to be done here. I think there's more getting along. There's more like, what word am I looking for? More olive branches need to be reached out. You know, they have to like have a talk. Jey, Jimmy, and Roman have to have a real talk. Till that happens, I don't see any like tag teaming or any group stuff yet. I think on the road to War Games, there'll be some talks, some promo segments. Then we can actually get the actual match, but not a Crown Jewel. I don't want to see Jey teaming up with Roman that quick. Crown Jewel is on the 2nd of November, so no. I would say no. Tag business and family business. I agree. Yeah, Solo showed up by himself through the crowd to antagonize, not antagonize, to say, antagonize is the wrong word. He showed up to say, hey, Solo, don't break up the family. No, this business, just keep it cool. But no, it is what it is. He couldn't like, I mean, I don't know if like saying he's going to knock Jacob Fatu out was going to make a difference. He probably would have screwed him no matter what. So it is what it is. But again, good segment, good main event. It felt fresh with the Braun Breaker stuff. I liked it. Let's move on to something that folks are not actually liking. Okay, let's take a quick break. By that I mean 5 seconds. Let's move on to the next topic here. We're going to be talking about Rhea Ripley, the Eradicator herself. All right. Now, Rhea Ripley. How do we set this up? Let's start from the very top. Io Sky and Kairi Sane are cutting a promo on Lash and Jakara, talking about how they want to take them out the next day, which is today on NXT, right? And then they're interrupted by Liv and Raquel. Now it's kind of refreshing to see Liv Morgan interacting with other women besides Rhea Ripley, so that was a plus. She cuts a promo and she says, "Hey, Jackie, get out of here. I want to talk straight to Rhea Ripley. Io, Kairi, get out of my face. I'm not worried about y'all." She cuts a promo on Rhea Ripley, I believe, or was it Nia Jax? One of the two. Didn't really matter because ultimately, Io Sky and Kairi saying we're not having that. And she said, "Hey, are you two still here? Get out of my face. I'm the champion. I got Big Raquel to my right here. What are you going to do?" Ultimately, this led to a match. Because Raquel was shown to be very imposing and physical and tall in that segment. They were supposed to be intimidated by her, whatever. Io was kind of scared. Kyrie wasn't. But ultimately, that led to a tag match between the four of them. Again, I'm happy that Liv Morgan is interacting with these other women. That's great. Should have been happening before, but whatever. Got some interactions there. So then we got a tag match between the four of them. Liv Morgan was scared of Io Sky. She went and tagged in Raquel. Raquel looked kind of slow in the match. There were some hiccups there. I wouldn't critique her too much. Folks gave her a hard time. Mostly like the Io Sky stands were saying, hey, look at how bad Raquel is. Look at how slow she has to move to keep to Io had to slow down to move with Raquel. Wasn't that bad, okay? It wasn't the best, but wasn't that bad. Ultimately, to mix it up, Io Sky does her thing, looks great. Then she goes to the sidelines there, right, and pulls Chikara. So Chikara and Lash are on the sidelines again in the crowd, not minding their own. They have to go out there and talk crap and antagonize Io Sky. So the second Io Sky goes to the outside, she tosses Chikara into the damn. She pulls her over the barricade. She straps it up with them. Match is pretty much called disqualification, or it's DQ because Io Sky got involved with Lash and Chikara, and then that led to Lash and Chikara beating up Io and Kyrie, saying Io Sky and they're out of there. Then you had Chikara and Lash in a ring with Liv and Raquel. So okay, Liv interacting with other women here. This is interesting because you had Lash, who's tall, standing next to Raquel, looking tall. She may have been wearing something, but Lash is 6 foot. She's tall. She might be just as tall, if not taller, than Raquel. So it looked like it was a good size comparison there. So they're facing off with Lash and Chikara. Then this is my brutality. Dun 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 dun. I eat, sleep. You know the song. She comes down there, and she goes to town, right? So first thing she does, she takes out Raquel. Takes her out. Get out of here, Raquel. She takes out Liv Morgan. Has to put her in a submission. And she takes out Dom. When Dom tries to get involved, takes Dom out. And she pretty much embarrasses them all. And Liv Morgan, Raquel, and Dom have to scurry away from the big time scary babyface Rhea Ripley here. Here's my problem. So I tweeted out an issue with this booking. In fact, I said, what did I say exactly when it comes to this booking? I said, here it is. Almost 1,000 likes. I muted this tweet, so I didn't know. Triple H. I messed that up. Triple H, your Rhea Ripley booking is trash. What the F was that? So here's my issue. Here's my actual complaint with this segment. I don't have a problem with Raquel. Well, I actually have a problem with Raquel. That's the problem that's a problem I have with it. Rhea Ripley can be a badass. I'm not saying she can't be a badass. She can be a dominant, cool face. That's fine. My issue is you had a promo or a segment or a vignette, however you want to call it, where Raquel talked about how she wants to stand up to Rhea Ripley, want to take her out because of what she did to her. If you don't know, Raquel and Liv Morgan were tag team champions. They were screwed out of their titles by Rhea Ripley. She's upset about what happened to Liv Morgan's shoulder, how Rhea Ripley mercilessly took her out her shoulder. Again, this is when Rhea Ripley was a heel. So really what Raquel is saying, she's in the right. She's saying that Rhea Ripley is going to get what's coming to her. She's coming after Rhea Ripley, yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, okay, great, finally. This should have happened after Bad Blood, but whatever. We're getting it now. We have it now. Raquel is putting her foot on the ground. She has a clear direction. I'm coming it for you, Rhea Ripley. Your days are numbered, so on and so forth. From a storytelling perspective, if you're going to do that, you can't book this segment. You can't book Raquel saying that and then having her look like this, leaving the match like she's running it off, like she's scurrying away. She's on the ground holding Dom and Liv. This doesn't make sense. They should be doing everything in their power to making us believe that Raquel is a threat. I thought when they brought her back, she'd be a legitimate, strong ass heel that would give Rhea Ripley trouble. similar to what they did with Nia Jax. Nia Jax was building towards that Perth main event. They had Nia Jax come down there and squash Rhea Ripley again and again and again. She even gave her the Annihilator. Rhea Ripley was out for like 2 weeks. Remember, she went on vacation in real life, but in kayfabe, she was out for like 2 weeks. They really made Nia Jax a threat and lead up to that main event show at in Crown Jewel in Perth, right? They made Nia Jax seem like a threat. I thought they were going to do the same thing to Raquel. Come in as a big, dominant, heel, strong, give Rhea Ripley hell, establish her as a monster, but that's not the case. I don't know how, as a storyteller, you book that segment, or you book that promo, where you're talking to Rhea Ripley, I'm coming for you, Rhea Ripley, your days are numbered, and then book that segment where she's like pulling Dom and Liv Morgan away, like, let's get out of here, let's not get jumped by the great Rhea Ripley. It's not great. I don't have a problem with Rhea Ripley being strong, but I thought they'd have Raquel on the same level just so we can buy that match. Right now, if you're saying, I'm looking forward to Raquel Rhea Ripley match, you're lying, okay? What have you seen since Raquel has returned that got you hyped for that match? Nothing. It's not good enough, okay? And this is what I tweeted as well. I said, I'm a Rhea Ripley fan. I'm a fan of Rhea Ripley, okay? So it's nothing against her. Not against her, okay? I just think they should be doing everything in their power to sell us on that match. And by that match, I mean Raquel versus Rhea Ripley. And so far, they have failed, okay? That's what it's about. Not about making Rhea Ripley weak. Not about making her weak. It's about making Raquel strong so we buy that damn match. And so far, it's just Rhea is a badass and no heel can hope to contend. I'm like, what's going to happen when she faces off with Bianca Belair? Are we going to get the same thing here? Like, what's going on here? Like, build her up, build up a threat to her, build somebody up, someone. Okay, ain't gonna be Liv Morgan. Clearly, she's running away from Io Sky every second of that match. She's running away from her. So I thought it was gonna be freaking Raquel, but it's not her either. Now, okay, but now to be clear, this is fiction, so you can change it on the drop of a dime, right? It's live fiction, right? It's like next week they can have Raquel like a damn beast, like, so not like all hope is lost. But in terms of what we're getting right now, in terms of what we have right now, it's not great. Okay, I have to be honest with you. The feud is not great. It's a problem, and I can't not say it. It can change next week because you can pivot with how professional wrestling is. You can pivot at any time. But at this point, right now, I gotta tell you, it's not good. Not good. All right. I thought bringing Raquel in would change the dynamic. I wasn't that hard on the feud as others were online. I wasn't that hard on it. So I thought, okay, they're holding off until Raquel shows up. When Raquel shows up, she's going to be a big time threat to Rhea Ripley. And you have Raquel and Rhea Ripley on one side. Maybe Liv Morgan will feud against an Io or a Lyra Valkyria. You know, that'll like give Rhea Ripley something to deal with. If she focus on Raquel, maybe that'll open up things for Liv Morgan to feud against Lyra. But that didn't happen, okay? Raquel feel like it's like any other member of the Judgment Day. A regular old member of the Judgment Day on the same level as a freaking JD or Carlito. Nothing strong, nothing dominant, just like a Judgment Day member. Okay, it's not good enough. All right, what say you? Am I wrong, folks? Am I wrong? Look at these comments. Look at these tweets. Look at these chats. A lot of them came in when I was like running my mouth. Rhea is Brock Lesnar. Fightful just reported that Carlito did an ad lib. We'll talk about that in a second. Remind me to talk about the ad lib thing in a second. It sounded like an ad lib. We'll talk about that after this. I thought Rhea was going to attack Lash and Chikara. Carl looked okay. Beating up her bodyguard. It's like a bad bodyguard right now, right? You're not a fan of Rhea anymore? It's like she's fine. The talent is fine. It's the booking that's the issue. Triple H's booking is the issue. How are we meant to have empathy for Rhea? I don't know how. She's the face here. But you show the segment where Raquel is justified in her actions. She justified in her reaction to Rhea. She said, "Hey, we were minding our own as babyface champions for tag titles, and Rhea Ripley screwed us." Yeah, she did. She broke Liv Morgan's shoulder. Yeah, she did. So why should she be the sympathetic figure here? She shouldn't. So like, what's happening here with the booking? Like, what's going on? Let's see how Raquel fares in a one-on-one match. Yeah, but my problem is they're not making me care about the one-on-one match. They're not making me care. They can book her strong in the match, great, but they should be doing everything in their power to make me care about it now, before the match. But that's not happening. Maybe Raquel versus Rhea Ripley after War Games, maybe. She faced Nia was a tweener. They also realize people are over this feud. The fans love it. So if you go, sometimes Twitter is not real life. When Rhea Ripley goes out there and she beats down Dom, she runs off Liv Morgan, crowd is electric. So the average fan is loving it. So Triple H is like, why should I change anything? Like, it's great. They're eating it up, right? Online fan base is one thing, but the crowd, the live crowd, the paying merchants, they're enjoying it. So why would he change? I don't think we're gonna get a big change anytime soon. I hope I'm wrong. I could see him booking Raquel strong in the match once it happens, but right now the build to it is not great. It's not great. Raquel looks average, like a typical, she doesn't look like a force of nature. She looks like a regular old talent that's not strong at all. And I think it's a problem. I think it's a problem. Do you think Lash and Dakar will join Liv and Raquel in a War Games match? I think it's too early to say that. Too early. The wild card is Dakota Kai. When is Dakota Kai returning? If Dakota Kai returns within the next few weeks, then I think they go the PFC route. But if Damage Control is going to be without Dakota Kai for longer, then maybe they do that. But that face-off was not like a, yeah, we're cool. It's more like, it's more combative. That face-off between Liv, Raquel, and Lash, it was more combative. So this is that visual here. It wasn't like, hey, we're on the same page thing. Now they can always recruit them later. They can always come together. But for right now, it was very much a face-off, which is good for Lash and Dakar. She's standing off against, not staying off. They're facing off against the champion here in Liv Morgan. It's a big time spot for them. At this point, I think Jakara and Lash should be called up. I don't know why you send them back to NXT. It's a wrap. They can wrestle on NXT, right? But they should be a feature on the main roster now, I think. They've shown enough. They've done well. They have a group presence. Look at how Lash looks against Raquel Rodriguez. I'm liking this visual. They should be on Raw or SmackDown going forward. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Damn, I didn't realize the PFC were gone. PFC missing 2 weeks in a row. Well, the problem is it's 2 hours, right? What they've been doing is like 4 matches per show, 5 maximum, but 4 really, right? And if you have 3 matches for the men, the 2 tag matches, and you had the main event, Braun versus Jey Uso, there's only time for 1 other women's match. And if that's the case, you're going to pull in Io, you're going to pull in Liv, you're going to pull in Raquel, you're going to pull in Rhea Ripley before you talk about Lyra against Zoe Stark. Fortunately for the women, now there's 2 hours. Mid-card for women on Raw is garbage. It's garbage all around, really. There are no mid-card storylines for the women that are compelling. The men have plenty. We had CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. We have the feud between, the building feud between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. You got Braun stuff in the mid-card titles, right? Braun Breaker. You got Wyatt Sicks stuff. Final Testament. You have storylines in the mid-card. Andrade against Carmelo Hayes, right? For the women, it's kaput. It's nothing. Nothing of any substance, nothing of any value. It's unfortunate. Kyrie landed on Io's neck. I feel like she sat on her. The elbow didn't connect. She like sat on her. Her butt landed on Liv Morgan, I thought. TFC are the only mid-card female heels. So many are injured. Yeah. Kiana James is out. He was a heel. What's going on with Unholy Union? They're on Raw. See, the mid-card spot is just bad. Is this not enough time for the women? Because the men are always going to have priority. So because of that, women are kind of like getting the short end of the stick. Always. Not kind of. They're always getting the short end of the stick. Always. All right. So here's a funny little video here of Rhea Ripley. This is not canon. Rhea carrying Io Sky off the back. I do believe Io Sky will be Rhea Ripley's War Games teammate, but it's got nothing to do with that. This got nothing to do with that. This is just like a little fun moment off screen during the commercial break. Not even during the commercial break. It was during the time they're showing the Seth Rollins attacking freaking Braun Breaker for like the third time. Not Braun Breaker. Bronson Reed for like the third time. All right, let's talk about Carlito. Well, Carlito was Io Sky and Kairi Sane had just lost. They lost because they won by DQ, but they just got jumped by Lyra and Chikara. They're complaining, and then Carlito walked into the room with Adam Pearce. Io and Kairi walk away, and he says, "I wish I could understand Chinese." What he said. All right. Now we should know that Io and Kairi are from Japan, not from China. And folks are upset. Now, according to the chat, you said that Fightful said that it was an ad-lib. It sounded like an ad-lib. I don't know why the WWE would be that dumb to put that in the creative. Like to have that be a scripted line. They should know better. They know how that would play. So of course, I thought it was an ad-lib more so than not, okay? So he says, gotta learn Chinese. Now it's possible that he made a mistake. He wanted to say Japanese, but he mistakenly said Chinese. That's possible. It's an innocent mistake. It's a bad mistake to make, but like, hey, I meant to say Japanese, I said Chinese. My bad. I just made a mistake. Cool. But yeah, now that we know that's an ad-lib, I don't want to talk about it because I didn't know what it was. If it was a actual scripted line, there'd be a different approach to this. Because I know it's an ad-lib, Carlito just fucked up, then okay, it's a mistake. Shouldn't have said it. We move on. Carlito, you fucked up. But yeah, that's a problem, but I'm glad it was just an ad-lib. I'll be more concerned. I have more questions. It'd be a different approach, a different conversation if it was a scripted line. Because then you have to go into a place of what's allowed in fiction. If you're watching a television show or movie, there's racist characters all the time. People say effed up shit all the time, right? They say stupid shit, ignorant shit all the time in a show, movie is okay. It's a character. The character is ignorant or racist or whatever. We move on. You're playing a character, right? In pro wrestling, they're also playing a character, but it's a little different, right? It's closer to the actual person for whatever reason. Maybe you argue it shouldn't be like that, right? But when you're playing a character on professional wrestling, very much tied to the actual human being. So if Carlito is a racist or makes a mistake like that or says something ignorant, well, you can just say, well, he's an ignorant character. Okay, we know now he's ignorant. But with pro wrestling, it's a little different, right? You can't just be an ignorant character these days in pro wrestling. So, because it gets kind of... Let's have the conversation, right? Let's have the conversation then. When it comes to pro wrestling, you're playing a character like Carlito. He's the silly goose, the lovable idiot kind of character. So this doesn't work for him to make this mistake. Now, he was like a diabolical, despicable heel. He says that, okay, he's a heel. He's an awful person. He said something that could be considered very offensive. Okay, well, it fits. Now we know that character is bad. He's a racist. He's a what I'm looking for. Because not necessarily, if it's being intentional, if he's intentional saying like, hey, oh, you're Chinese, knowing damn well the Japanese, then that's racist, of course, right? At minimal, it's offensive, and you're belittling the person. You don't care about the person as an individual, yada yada, right? That character can be an awful person, and it fits if he's an awful heel. Cool, but Carlito is a lovable idiot. He's a comedy act, so it doesn't really fit as well, right? I think characters can be allowed to be awful human beings within pro wrestling, as long as it's clear and obvious that that person is a heel. Therefore, that heel says bad things. Okay. Let me give you an example. Obafemi on NXT, he said when talking to, I think it was who was it, Rizzo? I'm talking to Rizzo and Tony D's crew, said that in some customs, some places, women are meant to be seen, not heard, right? And the crowd go, oh. Now Obafemi is a heel. And in that segment, Tony D walked up and said, hey, who do you think you are talking to a woman like that? Who do you think you are? Like, the babyface came up and said, that's wrong. That's bad, Obafemi. You're the heel. That's a mistake. You shouldn't be saying that. That makes sense. Now, if Obafemi was a face, that'd be dumb, right? That would make sense. The heel can be allowed to say effed up shit, as long as it's clear and obvious that that person, the heel, if it's a character and it's established that that's wrong, and the face is upset about that, and the heel will pay for that comment. That can work fine, again, as long as it's established that the person is a heel, and we can move forward with that, right? Does that make sense? No way Triple H let racist comments toward Io Sky fly. They cut it out of the, like, you can't find it, I don't think. Anywhere you look on the official videos, you can't find that comment. It's an ad-lib. They cut it out immediately. Yeah, was a mistake. All right. It was a mistake. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Do I think Carlito needs to be fired? No. I don't think he needs to be fired. If it's an honest mistake, he says, my bad, that was a mistake on me, then cool. Don't do it again. Move forward. Talk to Io Sky about it. See how she feels about it. Io and Kyrie. Then we move on. Can't happen again, obviously. Yeah, I don't think he should be punished or suspended. That's crazy talk. Assuming it was a mistake, like it was a mistake, then it was a mistake. Okay, fine. Now, if it's an intentional, like, oh, I'm gonna say they're Chinese here when I know they're Asian. Well, I know they're Japanese. It'll be funny, right? Then that's a little different. But if it's just an honest mistake, then move on. Bringing up Carlito's old tweets, I hate that. Don't be digging up old tweets to like fit some narrative. Like, you didn't care before, so why are you chasing down tweets? I hate that. I hate that. I hate Twitter sometimes. I don't think it's that serious. If it was an honest mistake. If it's an honest mistake, then it's not that serious. All right. All right, let's move on from that topic. We talked about that enough. Let's talk about what's next. Actually, what's next on the docket here? Talk about the tag team action again, which will lead to the Wyatt Sicks stuff. We'll talk about that next. So on Raw, we had 2 tag team matches. There's like this loose tag team tournament with no bracket. Has anybody seen the tournament bracket for this tag team tournament? Apparently there's a tournament here to decide the number 1 contender for the tag titles, but there's no like actual bracket that I've seen. So it's like, what's the bracket here? Who faces who next? What's going on? But anyway, we had 2 good tag matches. It was Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio against the Creed brothers, which are a part of Team Gable, right? That was a good match. Fun match. I thought they cooked in the match, did well. Some folks want to see Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee have a long-term tag team. It worked well. They work well in the ring together. I wouldn't mind that. Had that be an official tag team for a while. That'll give Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio something to do for a little bit. So I'm not opposed to a tag team between Ray and Dragon Lee. Good match. I wasn't complaining there. There's a little side story between Zelina Vega and what's her face? Why am I blanking on her name? Ivy Nile. That was nice to see on the sidelines there. So yeah, you got women mixing up there a little bit. Not great, but at least it's something. They had a little. I think she hit a Hurricanrana on Ivy Nile, so there's something there, right? Overall, solid match. Can't complain. It was okay. Zelina Vega, Ivy Nile, that official for next week, Richard? Not the biggest match, but that's something for the mid card for women. I feel better about it if it wasn't 2 hours. 3 hours, they get more time, but 2 hours, maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes max. Is that official? Okay, great. So good for them. That's a mid card fight right there. Awesome. Yeah, good match. Now, the other match was the New Day taking on Final Testament or AOP, right? So we have this grouping of the Final Testament and the Miz. And we talked about how this is going to lead to the Wyatt Sicks. Well, tonight that finally paid off, right? Because R-Truth came down there to help the New Day, helped them win, got rid of the distractions. New Day picks up the win. All great here, they're all happy together, right? And then R-Truth get jumped. He jumped in the ring. And Xavier Woods doesn't want to help. Xavier Woods, they're doing a good job of making me hate Xavier Woods. So they're doing a good job there. He's a heel at this point. I hate him. Mission accomplished, right? Because Kofi Kingston's like, come on, you gotta go help him. Let's go help him. I'm like, nah, screw him. Like, he just helped you, dude. Like, what are you doing here? Effective heel turn stuff from Xavier Woods. And then lights hit and they returned. Okay, so Wyatt Sicks is back. They're done with Chad Gable's team. Now to focus on the Final Testament. How I feel about it? I'm excited for it. It's good stuff. Only problem I have with the Wyatt Sicks thing, they feuded with Chad Gable, Team Gable, whatever. And then nothing happened with it. Nothing came of it. Like, what were the repercussions? What were the stakes of that? Nothing really. Nothing really lasting. They beat them up in a feud and now it's over. Now you have American Made. That's the name of the team, American Made. They're now just still heels doing their thing. Okay, well, what was the punishment there? Like, what was the lasting punishment? Was there no real injury angle that happened to them? So they beat up American Made and that's that. Will that be the same for Final Testament? Maybe. They'll beat up them and that'll be that. But I'm happy to see them. The crowd was lit. Crowd was happy to see Wyatt Sicks back. You're going to have Nikki against Scarlett, so something for her to do there. The Miz taking on Bo Dallas. Then you have Karen Cross and the crew taking on the rest of them. Makes sense. Fun stuff. Crowd's happy to see it. What's the end game for Wyatt Sicks? Like, what's the top goal? I don't know. Right now, they're just like in the mid card causing havoc, which is fine for them. We don't need to see them chasing Cody or taking on Gunther. Okay, so I'm happy they're in the mid card, but it is what it is. Well, they're exciting, they're fun, fans love them, so I'm not gonna hate on it. Good stuff. I'm happy for the Wyatt Sicks and Bo Dallas. It's all good in the neighborhood, okay? Yeah, they're awesome stuff. Wyatt Sicks is awesome. Liv Morgan should win this storyline rivalry. That ain't happening. We know that ain't happening. McKenzie, we know that ain't happening. Because Liv Morgan didn't start this. She's not in the wrong, right? This is all on Rhea Ripley. Now, Rhea Ripley can apologize in the end. I booked it so that in the main event match, Rhea will finally apologize to Liv Morgan before she hits her with the riptide. But ultimately, at the end of the day, Rhea's going to win. Let's not belabor it or try to fool ourselves. Rhea Ripley will beat Liv Morgan in the main event at WrestleMania. Not main event. In a match at WrestleMania. Rhea will beat Liv Morgan. And that is that. All right? Not kid ourselves. Judgment Day against Wyatt. That'd be interesting. So let's say The Bloodline win, whatever. Let's say the Bloodline win. Ultimately, right? Then you can have Jacob, Tangaloa, Tonga, Tangaloa. You have them, well, Tongaloa. You have them face off against the Wyatt Sicks. That'd be cool. Solo, Jacob, Tonga, Tama, all of them. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I could see Tonga in them in that feud. That makes sense. That could work. Just let it end. Saturday night main event. What make what end? Oh yeah, okay. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. I'll admit, during Monday Night Raw, for the first time I thought to myself, this should really end at Saturday night main event. It really should. I don't think it will. That's the difference. Whether it should happen is one thing. I could agree with you guys. I think it should end at Saturday night main event because I don't like it right now. It's not going anywhere. They dropped the ball. They dropped the ball on Raquel right now. They can always pivot. They can always change it. But as it stands right now, I would love to see that end at Saturday night main event. End it at Saturday night main event. End it there. Saturday night. I don't see it happening though. There, I see it going all the way. Mania, but we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll pivot. Maybe Triple H will pivot, but right now, going all the way to Mania, folks. Don't even fight it. Live the Carlito Raquel love story. That's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting, funny thing they're doing there. Where is it gonna go? I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. Anything else to happen on Raw that like important? What say you? I'll leave it to questions now. Oh yeah, my bad. Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins took on, well, I didn't tell anybody. He attacked Bronson Reed at the top of the show. This was a fun segment. This was a fun time that they had here. Do I have any pictures? Good if I don't. I was happy to see this. It's fun. So, open up a show. You got Bronson Reed walking to the damn arena, and then Seth Rollins comes out of nowhere and attacks him from behind. They're doing a good job here. A really good job with this. I'm looking forward to all of this. I really am. This match is set for Crown Jewel. So you have Seth Rollins taking on Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel. I think Bronson Reed should win. I would book him to win. I don't know about you guys, but I think Bronson Reed should win that match. Bronson Reed has never been cooler. He's never been cooler than he is now. Never. I think they should really like keep going with it. Let him be cool. Let him be like this awesome character right now who's like a badass. Invest in Bronson Reed. Don't have him lose to Seth Rollins right away. At least not at first. Let Bronson Reed get a dominant win on Seth Rollins, and then you can have Seth Rollins win if you want to. Because ultimately, they want to build towards Seth versus CM Punk. So you can't have Seth looking really weak. Because why the hell would you want to see the CM Punk match, right? But I do believe Bronson Reed should win the first match at least, and then you come back around to him beating Bronson Reed, and then you do the Seth Rollins CM Punk stuff. But before that, invest in Bronson Reed, keep him looking special, keep him looking strong. That's what I would say, because I like what they're doing with Bronson Reed. But it was a fun opener. The entire show, there was like a through line. They kept going back to this. Seth Rollins would keep attacking Bronson Reed from behind the entire show. So Adam Pearce was like, you know what? Enough of this. Enough. This match will happen at Crown Jewel. And get him out of here. No more fighting. So they got their wish. They got their wish. So this will be a fun match. Crown Jewel. The Saudi folks will love it. Looking forward to it. One of the few matches I'm looking forward to at Crown Jewel. Really? I think it'll be great. Well booked. So yeah, let's do this. Crown Jewel. Seth against Bronson Reed. Why not? I'm here for it. Seth gets to win back before Mania. Yeah, I would say that. Probably Saturday night main event. You have it at Crown Jewel. First match, Bronson Reed wins. Get the rematch at Saturday night main event. Beats him there before Mania season, which is the Rumble season, right? That could happen. Yeah, good stuff from Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. I'm invested in this. Let them cook. It'll be fun. Sure, it will be fun. Tonight on NXT, we got 2 women's tag team matches that I'm excited about. 2 of them. Not 1, but 2. You got Julia and Stephanie Vaquer. Again, it's Vaquer, not for Core, not for Kerr. Stephanie Vaquer. Okay? I'm happy that they're saying it right in the promo material. The announcer saying it right, and the promo material for the commercials are saying her name right. Stephanie Vaquer. Got that match against the Team 2001, which is Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. That'd be fun. Probably a main event, right? That'd be fun. You also have, wait a minute. That's the Halloween Havoc match. Match tonight is Julia and Stephanie against not what's the name of the damn team? Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat. Figure it out. Figure it out. Fatal Influence. There it is. Fatal Influence. That'll be fun. I do believe Roxanne and Cora Jade will stand tall. So I do believe that Roxanne and Cora Jade will get the better of Julia and Stephanie tonight. So that'll be fun to see how they book that. You also have Lash and Jakara taking on Io Sky and Kairi Sane. So a lot of good stuff tonight. A lot of good stuff. All right. Face to face between Trick and Ethan Page. Cool. There's one, right? Now here's the thing about this match. I know, right? No Samantha Irvin call of Julia and Stephanie. That sucks. This is what I'll say about this match. If there's no interference from Piper and Chelsea Green, then this match, there don't be no. This whole entire time I've been saying that it'll be a 4-way match, a 4-way tag team match at Crown Jewel between Bianca Jade, Lash Shikara, Io and Kairi, and Piper and Chelsea. If Piper and Chelsea don't get involved here, then I was wrong. Because they've been getting embarrassed every week. Every SmackDown, Jakara and freaking Lash will embarrass Chelsea and Piper Niven. So I believe if you want this to end with interference, to not end clean, I think this is the time you bring in Piper and Chelsea. Assuming they're going to be in the match. If they're not going to be in the match, then never mind. I was wrong, right? But don't be surprised tonight if Piper Niven and Chelsea Green get involved here. If they don't, then I was wrong. It'll be 3-way. Because I don't know why this would be the time. This will be the time to do it. If Chelsea and Piper were going to get involved, this would be the time tonight. But it's going to be fun, interesting to see. Io back in NXT. Because Kairi came with Asuka not too long ago. This is Io's time to be back in NXT for a while. This is her first time back in a while. Are we going to get that face-off between Io, Julia, Stephanie, and Kairi Sane? They know the fans love it. They know the fans want it. They know their fans want it. Give it to them. Give us the face-off between Io and Julia, between Kairi Sane and Stephanie Vaquer. Give us that face-off. Those 4 on one shot, in one screen. Show us that tonight. Show us that tonight. Yeah, exactly. Julia and Sky Pirates tonight, backstage. Give us what we want. And of course, we have Fatal Influence. They've been talking about North American title for so many weeks now. Like, they're eyeing Kalani Jordan, but they're not doing anything about it. Like, we gotta get the North American title from Kalani Jordan. Gotta get that match. We gotta face Kalani Jordan. 3 of you guys. None of you guys are actually facing Kalani Jordan. Like, when is the match going to actually happen? Who knows, right? But we have Jane, Fallon Henley, two very experienced, reliable workers taking on Julia Stephanie Fakir. This will be a fun match. Again, I think Julia and Stephanie will get the win, but ultimately they will be on the ground. Because I think Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez will play the numbers game and jump them after the match and beat them down. We'll see how that goes. It'll be the main event, but we'll see. It'll be a main event match, and then the last thing to show is the face-off between Trick Williams and Ethan Page. That could happen easily. But yeah, this is going to be fun, man. Two big-time women's matches here. That's how they've been promoting it. Two women's tag team matches. Also have... Oh, this is going to be a squash. This better be a squash. You got freaking Obafemi taking on Luca from the family. I don't really care about this too much. Hopefully this match doesn't last too long. Give the time to the women. I'm not that thrilled about this match, to be completely honest with you. So we'll see how that goes. We will see how this goes. NXT is gonna be a good show. Good show. Trick, Ethan, Julia Stephanie, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, Sky Pirates against Lash and Jakara. At the Obafemi match. Oh yeah, another one. It's got 3 women's matches. So really for the women. Tonight is really for the women. Got the Jakara, Jada Parker against Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley is over like hell with the crowd. Jada Parker is back to being a heel. So this is a heel face thing. Clear cut heel face. We'll see how this goes. Will Lola Vice get involved? Probably. So last week, Jada Parker got involved in Lola's match. So tonight, Lola will get involved in here, and Lola would cost her the match. Tatum Paxley will get the win. Book it. She will pin Jada tonight due to interference from Lola Vice. A good match, good stuff from NXT. Looking forward to it. NXT men's division needs help. Yeah, they need Ricky Starks. They need someone else. They need some bodies over there for sure. Most people will watch NBA or MLB. The NBA season start tonight? NBA, or is it preseason? NBA season start. I thought like, oh snap! It is tonight. But would you look at that? Start tonight. Season starts tonight. Season starts tonight. The Hornets play tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Lakers. Yep. Lakers. Yeah. Knicks. Yep. You're right. They'll be watching the Knicks. They'll be watching this match. You're right. So yeah, we'll see who are the diehard. We'll see how much crossover there is between NBA and NXT fans tonight for sure. Good reminder. I forgot about that. Season starts tonight. The MLB. Who cares about MLB? A lot of people don't know that. Very regional. Ronnie. Who cares? Well, LeBron is basically the coach, so he'll put his son in. Bron should be in the G League. Bronny should be in the G League. All right, that's where he belongs. That's why I say. But it is what it is. His dad is like, LeBron James, so he'll be on the team. He'll get some minutes. They want to keep LeBron happy. NXT might get killed in ratings tonight. Yeah, they might. If they're not invested in women's wrestling, they want to watch the men's stuff. Yeah, they can for sure. Now, the one show that's going to be a highly rated show for NXT was going to be that show in the old ECW arena. You didn't know that thing has sold out already. It's sold out. So that'll be a big time show on Wednesday. I would promote it as a special event. This thing's going up against Dynamite. So I would promote it as a special event throughout all the shows from Raw, SmackDown to NXT. Special event, special time, special show. NXT is in ECW's old arena. really make it like a special showing. It's kind of like how they're doing with Saturday Night Main Event. I said like a real special event, not a typical NXT show, like a special show. That's how I would present it. It's already sold out. It's gonna be an electric show. You just know it. We'll see how it does against Dynamite. I'm sure Dynamite will load up. See what 20 Ton does, but yeah, this will be a good show. I'm sure. I'm not worried about it one bit. Yeah, so tonight, folks, we got Julia, got EO, you got some good stuff happening in that ring tonight. Stephanie Vaquer, of course, the best of them all in ring. Well, you can argue ego. You can argue EO. Okay, I won't say that, but you got, in my opinion, 2 top 5 women wrestlers in ring. EO and Stephanie Vaquer all on the show, and Roxanne Perez there, who's also a great wrestler. A lot of great women's wrestlers. Julia, of course, Julia can go. Good stuff tonight for the women. Thank you. Gary's going pretty good. EW is lost. You can catch in the end of the stream, folks. I'll wrap it up here in a second. Any lasting question? No clue who Fraxium faced at Havoc. It was supposed to be MCMG, but because you remember the Lucha Bro was supposed to go to SmackDown, but that got changed. Who knows? Probably like a main event, main roster talents. Maybe Yes Boys. Maybe not DIY. I feel like we've seen that too many times. Or I feel like we've seen it before, even though we might not have. I feel like we've seen it before. Not MCMG. Yeah, I don't know. Hank and Tank. Devon and Cedric. That could work. Who's better? Sky Pirates or Stephanie and Julia? What do you mean by who's better? A tag team? Sky Pirates. Good actual tag team. Sky Pirates are better. They're a better tag team. Watch EO attack Julia. They want to attack. They have like a face-off. That'll be enough. It'll be a backstage segment. You see Julia and Stephanie and EO and Kyrie walk up. It'll be money. That's all you need to see. Those 4 together on the screen together. I do believe Stephanie will turn on Julia at Halloween Havoc. That's my big thing. My big booking angle. I see Julia and Stephanie will beat Roxanne and they'll beat Roxanne and Cora Jade. They'll beat them. After they beat them, Stephanie will turn on Julia. I think Stephanie will be the heel here. Yeah, babyface Julia and heel Stephanie. After the match, Stephanie turns on Julia, and that'll be that. That'll be the start of the Stephanie Julia friction. But I could be wrong. It may drag it out a little longer. The claim to Fightful from at least one staff member in WWE is that the line wasn't scripted. I believe it. He ad-libbed that. What else we got here? Nothing much. For a first match, eating a pin. Definitely not. You're not gonna have Stephanie eat the pin or Julia. You could have Roxanne eat the pin. It wouldn't hurt her. She's a champion, but it wouldn't hurt her because it's a tag match. Let's say Stephanie pins Roxanne Perez, right? And then Stephanie turns on Julia. So now it's like, yes, I'm now number 1 contender, and I turn on you, Julia. Get out of here, Julia. I'm now the number 1 contender. Ha ha ha. You know, you can have her pin the champ. Nia Jax was pinned by Naomi, right? Liv Morgan was pinned by Rhea Ripley at a bash. The champion can get pinned in a tag team setting. It can work fine. We've seen it a couple times over the past couple months. So I wouldn't be surprised if Roxanne get pinned. If you don't want Cora Jade to get pinned her first match, Roxanne can eat the pin in a tag team setting and be fine. It would be like, the champion has been pinned. It'd be a big deal. Who it should be? That's another question. Should it be Julia getting her pin back? Probably. That makes sense for Julia's story. Get that pin back. If you want to be like crazy, you can have Stephanie do it and then turn on Julia. That could be interesting. Different ways you can go. But I would not be surprised if Roxanne gets pinned here. Actually, I'm predicting that. I'm predicting that Roxanne gets pinned at Halloween Havoc. It'll be her. Because you remember, she pinned Julia by interference. So now she's owed one. Julia is owed one. Like, if she's winning clean, that'd be one thing. But she won by interference last time. So now you can have her take a pin. Just like Nia Jax took a pin. Just like Liv Morgan took a pin. It can work fine. I think Roxanne eats a pin and Cora Jade does not. That's my thought process. Fakir pins Roxanne, leading to a triple threat. The triple threat is interesting to me. It makes sense, but it is interesting. You can have Roxanne retain via triple threat, because triple threat is no DQ. Cora Jade will be down there, of course. And how did that work out? Roxanne can pin Stephanie this time. That could piss Stephanie off. If you want to trigger the heel turn, let's say Roxanne pins Stephanie because of Cora Jade interference. She blames Julia. You got in my way. She turns on Julia. It's so compelling because you guys have to remember one thing before we wrap it up here. The plan was to have Julia take the belt off Roxanne Perez, right? That was the plan. Stephanie was the wild card. According to Fightful, Stephanie came out of nowhere. They didn't expect that. The creative did not expect that to come in. They didn't expect her to be signed. That was random. You remember? It came out of nowhere. They had to change the entire plan. They had to rip up the plan and throw it out the way, like throw it out the window. Okay, we're starting from scratch. And it makes sense based on what we're seeing here. They had to start from complete scratch with this booking. Because if you know Triple H's booking, you know Shawn Michaels, know NXT, it was supposed to be Roxanne faces off with Julia. Maybe she wins at first. Then Julia beats her clean next at Halloween Havoc. Clear cut, Julia becomes champion. That was the plan probably. But Stephanie Fakir just changed up that entire thing. Because she's so damn good in the ring. She's such a star. They had to scrap the entire plan. We'll see what we get. Because we don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know. I have no clue what's going to happen. I'm very interested to see what happens though. Very interested. Plans were completely reworked. I would have Fakir pin Roxanne. Fakir versus Roxanne at ECW Arena. Roxanne retains. Then Fatal 4-Way. I don't see Roxanne and Cora Jade coming to odds so soon. I think that tag team or that partnership will hang on for a while. I think I'm going to have them together for a little bit. Maybe until 2025. I can see Roxanne and Cora Jade being together for a while. Correct, Richard. They didn't plan on having Stephanie at all. It was came completely out of nowhere to creative. Like, wait, she's available? Well, we'll have to try to sign her. She said yes. We got her. What are we gonna do here? Creative team, make it work, make it happen. Completely changed all the plans for NXT. Completely did. But we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. All right, folks, that's it for the stream. Do me a favor, like the video. I would give Raw gets a 7.5 from me. 7.5 for Raw. Not a point higher. It was fine. 2 hours was fine. Good main event was fun. Fun main event. Lash and Jakar looked good. Tag team matches were good. You know what? Now that I think about it, Rhea hurt the show. I think maybe it should be higher than 4, but then 7.5. Maybe I'll give it 7. I think Rhea, the Raquel booking was only like the real issue here. The Rhea Ripley Raquel stuff. Everything else was solid. Seth Rollins stuff was good. Not a bad show. Solid 2 hours. Yeah, I'm not complaining about it. Like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. See me over on Twitter. Talk to you guys later. Peace.